I'm Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers, and today I'm going to be talking about Herstory. Now, how does it play, and how do we adapt it for remote play, and then what do I think about it as the game itself? So, let's go ahead and get started. Here is Herstory set up for 2 players. We have 1 and 2. We have both of their player pieces over here. This is the starting space. It does say 50. That's just so it could wrap around. And then we have these set up randomly, and one of a woman set in each of these picture areas. So every person gets a library card and a player aid, and what you do on your turn, it's really simple. You just do one of these 3 actions. So you could either take a research token, or you could put one of your chapters in this draft area, or you could complete a chapter. So what does that mean? So if pink is first player, they will choose to do something. So maybe they'll see a whole bunch of these books and these discussion tokens. So maybe she might take some of this discussion because there's a couple of these. She'll be able to get that next turn and place it right there. This gets immediately refilled. And there's that. And then, so it'll be the next player's turn. They might decide to, instead of just focusing hardcore on grabbing up these tokens, maybe they would take one of these for later. So like this one might come in handy because it would be 4 victory points and it would be 3 for completing a chapter requiring at least 3, which would pair really nicely with them. Or this one, she would immediately get to take 2 research tokens when that chapter is complete. So maybe we'll take that, put it in the draft. It does remind you that you do get 2 victory points immediately for doing so. And then it is immediately refilled, and we go back to this next player. And so this will go back and forth. What I can do is I have enough to complete this. So what you can do is you can do exact amounts, or you could go extra. So with that, I can do 2, 3, and have 1 extra, because I will have 3 of these thought bubbles, and then 5. So I can go ahead and do that. I can turn these in. You just put them in a discard area and put that right there. You get the victory points immediately, so that will get me 4 victory points. And we reveal a new card. They can complete this from either here or here. So they have 4 books and 2 magnifying glasses. So what they could do is they could bring this out. They'll say they'll grab these 2 and this one. So they have 4 books and 2 magnifying glasses, which is exactly what this card needs. So they'll turn those in. They will get 2 victory points. And then because they used exact change, they will get 3 more. So they'll go from 4 to 7 for that. And that goes in their Chapter 1. So something else that you could do at the start of your turn is, if you don't like any of these, you could flip the library card over. You would just take all of these and just put them in the discard area and grab new ones out. You can do that twice a game. So this first one, it says flip card to refresh all of them, and then this says discard to refresh all of them. So if you want to do that another time during the game, you could just discard your card, and then that will be the last time that you could do that during the game. And then the game just ends when someone gets 8 of these chapters, which when you're putting these in, this first one goes here, and this next one goes right here, so you can see the powers. And then they come out, and they are just perfectly spaced to be able to see the powers and go to the next chapter, which I find that really a nice touch. One last thing to note is if you do ever have too many, or you have this filled up with these tiles and you want another one, you can grab it and then just change it out with something else. So you'll just have to discard one to grab another one. But that's only if that is completely full. And as you can see, some of these have game end powers. Some of them have in-game powers. So this would just be 2 of those icons that you could use for the rest of the game whenever you want to. This is if something happens, and so if you are not leading, you get 3 victory points when another player wipes the tokens. And then if you're not leading, when another player gets an exact bonus, you get 2 victory points. So these just play out. And then this one doesn't have any powers, but she is worth a lot. She's worth 6 victory points, but she doesn't have any benefit during the game. But once someone has completed all 8 chapters, you just go until the round ends, so everybody has equal turns. Most points is the winner. Now, how I adapt this for remote play, basically it's the exact same thing. Just if it is all open information, so if only one side has a copy, you can take pictures of these and send them, or just have a really good camera so people can read what they are, and then they could write down what they have. So they would just need a really good angle at what their tokens are, or again, they could write it down. Or if all sides or multiple sides have a copy, what I would do is, instead of having it be the exact setup the same, because all of these cards are unique, oh, and we're falling, I would just do the elimination. So say Brooksy is playing with me, and Brooksy has a copy, I have a copy, and he wants to grab this one. So he would just go 1, 2, 3, 4. He is grabbing the 4th card. So then he would take that, put that over in his area. That's what he's doing on his side. For me, when he says 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just going to take that and put it face down on his thing. He will let me know however many victory points he gets when he completes cards. So if he completes one from his set, I would just move 1 card over there. It wouldn't matter what it says. It would just be that it is taken. And then he would tell me how many victory points he gets, and I would move him up on here. And then, of course, I refill. And, you know, if I would be that, so like if I want to get Ruth, I would go, I'm going to grab the 2nd card, and I'm just going to put her in my draft, and I get 2 points for that. So we all update the point track, or just one side could update the points and the other side just tell how many they are. And then likewise, the same thing for these tokens. I would want the 3rd token. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to take the 3rd token. Okay, everyone just takes it. I would just discard the 3rd token if Brooksy would call it out and put it over here. So it's just elimination. You don't really have a whole lot of take that with these cards. Now, if you are playing a power, so if I would play Ruth later on, I'd be like, okay, I am playing Ruth. And hey, just to let you know, if you ever do wipe the tokens, I get something, I get a benefit for that. So that way, you know, be like, okay, I would get 3 victory points when you wipe the tokens. So Brooksy would be like, okay, maybe I don't want to wipe the tokens unless I absolutely positively have to in the future. But that is how I would play remotely. So as you can see, this is a very simple game. You are just trying to get these tokens to match up to these to get victory points. Sometimes you can get them to play off of each other. So, you know, this one at the end of the game, you get 1 point for every 2 light bulbs in it. So getting this and getting this, so maybe you could get her early, get all those light bulbs, and then she would help you get this, and then she will give you victory points for having her. So you can have some of that play off, but really you're just getting tokens, putting them in your area, turning them in for a card, whether it be from one of the ones that you have reserved, you can only reserve 2, or one of the ones that is public. But it's just that, and its turns are fast. They are really fast. You're just doing 1 action on your turn. Grabbing one of these, grabbing a card, completing a card. Those are your 3 options. So it's a really quick, easy. The biggest struggle would be, okay, I need a light bulb. I just need 1 light bulb. But okay, if I get this 2 light bulb, can I reduce one of these others? Because I want to get the perfect bonus. Because if you get exact change, you get 3 extra points. And 3 extra points is huge. So like that can lead to a little bit of analysis process. But this is a very welcoming game. It's very accessible. It's one that you could play with younger kids. They have to be able to read and be able to comprehend what are good. But other than that, it would be one that you could play fairly easily as a family as long as they can read. You don't have to be able to read all of these, although something I do love is you can read the back of these throughout the game when you get it, but you don't have to. So just, if you want to learn a little bit more about history, you could flip it over, read it really quickly and go, oh, okay. So like, did you know that the Cheyenne called the Battle of the Rosebud the fight where the girl saved her brother in Buffalo Calf's woman's honor, which is hers? So it provides like age, the name, what she is. So she's a Native American warrior and leader, and a little bit of her story. And then a quick little, did you know, like cute little, no, I didn't know that. I didn't even know who she was before this game. So it can be educational. It is a fun game though. I do enjoy it, so it's not one of those educational games. And it's not exactly a historical game either, because yeah, these are all real women, but it's not, you know, based on one specific time frame. These are just inspirational people throughout history. But if you're not really into that, you can abstract it out and just, okay, I'm going to get this token to match that, and that be it. I get these amount of points. So you don't have to learn history if you don't want to. But why would you want to, right? With all that said, I do really like it. These components are really nice and chunky. And these were actually punched out and put into the bag before, so you didn't punch them out, so you don't have any of that hanging chad stuff. These tokens for our push pins. Theme is you are trying to write an 8-chapter book, and you're trying to write about all of these inspirational women throughout history. And so you're, you know, finding out all of these things, and these icons do have specific things. So the book is reading, that makes sense. The light bulb is thinking. The thought bubble is interviewing, so you're talking to people. And then the magnifying glass is searching, so you're searching through records. But you don't have to know what each individual symbol means. It's a magnifying glass. I need a magnifying glass for that. And there you go. But if you want to get more into it, you can. I do like this idea of a couple times a game. If none of these are working for you, you can refresh them twice a game. That makes it so it's not all the time. And that's a really easy one. And then this mat is also really nice too. It's a really nice feeling. And I do like that you have specific places where you can put things. It gives you a little reference as far as when you put a card here, you get 2 victory points. The hardest thing to really remember is when you place these. If you're using exact change, you get 3. While it is on the player aid, you don't really look at this too much. It's 3 actions. You grab, or you finish and turn in stuff. So it's not really a complicated game, so you don't really look at this, so you just have to remember, oh yeah, that's why I want the exact change. I want that 3 extra victory points. But as far as that goes, I think that's all I have to really say about it, other than these boards are cute. So I do really like them. They're nice, thick, sturdy. They do what they need to do. But I do rate this game about a 7.5. I do like it. I do tend to like a little bit thinkier games. While this provides some thought and some decision, it is a little bit on the lighter side, but it's still a really great game. And I love learning about people in history. I do love historically themed games and women of inspiration. Why would anyone not love that? But that's my thoughts on it. So again, thank you for watching. And until next time, just remember to have fun, be present, and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you find value in our content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Let a friend or family member know that we exist. Help us spread our channel and bring remote gaming to a table near you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.